One of the things that I've loved about you in the years that Nancy and I've been at Life.Church, your passion and your emotion. I get to see that every week as you give a message and when people come to Christ, and just to see that in you. And yet I see sometimes as men with our passion and emotion, it can get us in trouble with our family. How do you see that?
Well, I think a lot of times we don't like to think of ourselves as emotional. Women are emotional, men are not emotional. But the truth is we are very emotional. And until we recognize that, then our emotions can take us to places that we don't necessarily want to end up. And we see it all the time that sometimes we might dislike something about ourselves and we express emotion in a negative way. It can be tremendously hurtful to a family. And so we need to learn not to be driven by emotions, but to be led by the Spirit. And those are really two different things. Most of the time, by nature, I'll be driven by emotions because I feel, therefore I want to act. And I need to learn instead to say, I'm not going to react, but I'm going to respond and let the Spirit lead me and act in ways that are pleasing to God instead of things that make my flesh nature feel good.
And I think God gives us all of our emotions. I think sometimes we think, well, He just gives us happy and that, but He gives us all of our emotions. And I think the ones we might consider negative, like some of the anger and things we have, are red flags to us of saying, hey, there's something going on here that we need to deal with.
Right. Yeah, the red light comes on the car, it's time to take it in and get
Absolutely.
It worked on.
Yeah.
And if those emotions go out of check, then sometimes we don't know how to solve the problems ourselves.
Right.
And I always tell people, like if you've been overly emotional for a long time, you really need someone else to help you, because if you could have fixed it yourself, you would have done it a long time ago.
Yeah.
And so there might be some men right now who recognize, oh my gosh, I've been telling myself I can fix this, but you haven't done it. And so to really be a man is not to say I can do it on my own, but to really be a man is to say I need someone else to help me, and then we can really make progress.
Yeah, because I think we get in patterns with our emotion, and the emotion happens, we do the same thing. And the Scripture says, be angry and do not sin. So God's not saying, don't be angry,
Right.
He's saying, how do you handle your anger?
That's exactly right. Yeah, you will be angry. And
Yeah.
it's just, how do you handle that? What do you do? It makes all the difference.
In a way that honors Him and certainly doesn't do anything negative toward our spouse and toward our kids.
Right.
Yeah.